So hello and everyone, and thank you for joining us today for day one of the New York Vendor Showcase. Today, we're going to hear from vendors, hold on one second, sorry. We're going to hear from vendors across New York State that offer products made with 51% or more New York ingredients that are available for schools to purchase. The webinar is being hosted by Cornell Cooperative Extension Harvest New York's Farm to School Coordinator Program. It's a regional program that provides comprehensive support to farm to school stakeholders, including SFAs, farmers, distributors, processors, and food hubs. The primary goal of the Regional Farm to School Coordinator Program is to increase the volume and variety of local farm products that are purchased by SFAs for use in child nutrition programs. We currently provide boots on the ground support in Western New York, the upper and lower Hudson Valley, and the North Country and Long Island. We are in the midst of interviewing for 2 additional regional farm to school coordinator positions. One will be in Central New York and the other will be in New York City. And if you have any questions about these positions, you can reach out to Cheryl Belinsky. You should have her contact information from registering for the event. And also we could drop our contact information in the chat as well. So before we begin, please note that this presentation is being recorded. I've muted everybody. If you have questions during the presentations, please feel free to drop those questions in the chat and we will ask the vendors to answer the questions after each of them have finished presenting, as long as we have enough time to do that. I did want to note that we have a few upcoming food shows and tastings where food service directors will have an opportunity to sample the products that are being discussed today and tomorrow. So please check the chat for a link to register for our first food show, which will be in the Hudson Valley in April. So if you guys could just drop a link to that in the chat, that would be great. So please feel free to register for that if you're in that neck of the woods. If you're not in the Hudson Valley and you are interested in sampling any of these products, please reach out to a coordinator in your area, or Cheryl if you don't have a coordinator in your area yet, and we can help facilitate that process, especially if you have a group of directors, maybe you have a directors meeting in your area or school nutrition association meetings, and we can help get some of those samples out there. So before we begin, we will just take a moment to introduce each of ourselves from the Regional Farm to School Coordinator Program. I'm Becky O'Connor. I'm a Farm to Institution Coordinator, mostly doing farm to school work in Western New York, and I'm with our Harvest New York program. So if somebody would like to go next.
Hello, my name is Christy Apostolidis. I'm the Farm to School Coordinator for the Lower Hudson Valley, and I'm the one who just dropped those links in the chat box for the upcoming show. So it's, and I work with counties Rockland, Orange, Putnam, and Westchester.
I'll introduce myself next. I'm Katie Sheehan Lopez. I'm the Regional Farm to School Coordinator for the Upper Hudson Valley, and I cover Dutchess, Ulster, Sullivan, Delaware, Greene, and Columbia counties.
Hi everyone, I'm Amy Bly. I am one of the co-coordinators for the Long Island region.
And my name is Sandy Menasha. I am the other Long Island Regional Farm to School Coordinator, serving both Nassau and Suffolk County. Amy as well.
And my name is Megan Dolman. I'm the Farm to Institution Educator working with schools in Essex, Clinton, and Franklin counties up in the North Country.
Very good. Thank you guys so much. So we're going to start with our first vendor, who is Julia Van Loon from Slate Foods. So Julia, take it away.
Thanks, Becky. And thank you everyone for attending. I know you're all really busy, but next to the regional seminars, this is definitely the next best thing. So as you said, I'm Julia Van Loon. My company is Slate Foods, and I've been producing beef since 2012. And we began 4 schools and we continue to do it, 4 schools, and now some more added institutions. We are going to go right into it. We present a little film. We kind of wanted to little bit of a departure from PowerPoints and reading slides. We thought we could do something maybe a little more fun. For those of you that might have seen it earlier this week, sorry for the rerun, but I'm going to show it and then hopefully there'll be lots of questions after. So I will share my screen and make this bigger and start. What I took away from my years, like 20 plus in the hospitality world, was that I understood operations. I understood cooking. And so it was really natural that I would then take that knowledge and bring it to school kitchens and help them understand technique and operations to the point where they could actually take new ingredients and feel confident cooking with them. And then the beef was an easy one. So much of it was like the commodity, but sourced from New York.
Julia and I met 10 years ago in 2012. She was working with some Long Island school districts looking for improved beef, more sustainably raised beef with less antibiotics and more humane treatment of the animals. And Julia had this demonstration she would do with a 5-pound dilemma, and she would show like a 5-pound bag of flour or sugar, which was equivalent to the amount of antibiotics a cow would get over its lifetime. Julie's developed relationships with farmers across New York State with an array of processors to produce value-added products in a processing landscape that is really under capacity. So she's sort of put together a complicated and ambitious supply chain, which is unique in school food.
Well, I guess it's a combination of a lot of hard work, but an equal amount of passion. The reason we started Slate Foods was because we knew that New York could feed its own. There are so many different players along the line that benefited. And ultimately, it's the kids. They're the ones who reap the best benefits of this all.
Local 592. That hot dog is one of the best I've ever had. Thank you.
So that's a pretty good snapshot of who we are and where we've been and where we're going. I think that it's really nothing more to add. I tried to get everything into that little movie. We obviously are growing and we are looking to continue to add more products, and I hope that there are questions. I don't have much more. I think the movie kind of really does say it all. So please ask away.
If anybody has any questions, you can please feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask.
Okay, I'll ask a question. So as many of you know, we've kind of mastered our model by piggybacking with commodities and utilizing the warehouses around the state. This always made it possible for us to bypass a distributor, which would have to include a markup. The warehouses are growing, we've added more, and at this point, I would love your feedback on whether or not that model is working for you in your particular district. I know things are changing. Long Island, we're working with a few, we pretty much do fee for service. So we pay the warehouse a per box fee. We don't pass that on. That's part of our cost, and they get it to you. Lauren, Becky, do you want to ask the questions that are in the chat, or should I?
You can go ahead and ask. I actually had a question too, so go ahead. and
Okay,
read
let's
that
get everybody's question. So Lauren, hey Lauren. We are definitely going to be working on a roast beef from the rounds. We definitely can pull the rounds off of the whole animal and still have a good grind. And so we're working with one of our processors to do that. We are branching out and working with a hog farm in Wayne County. And we're going to be doing a bacon. And hopefully that might be ready in September. Also aggregating other products like eggs from the North Country, and I can go through Renzi and get it from Renzi anywhere I want. We are working with Solini pasta for areas that don't see themselves buying full pallets. We're going to work Long Island and the Hudson Valley for that. We would buy it directly, and again, our same model of how we get it to you would be like the beef. What distributors are you currently working with? Well, we're not. So we don't go through distributors. We go through logistics companies and warehouses. And so we have warehouses, we have 9. They're all spotted throughout the state. And when you get your products from them, because let's say it's your commodity warehouse, they just bring our order. We place the orders with them, but we handle it all with you, the food service director. We do the order collecting, we do the invoicing, and we make sure that it goes right. So Cisco is the only, we're not with Cisco's Syracuse. I don't even know if they're doing this I don't know if they have the contract. We do work with Albany Cisco. Oh, yes. Albany Cisco is one of our partners. Becky, what was your question?
Yeah, so I know that, and that was included in the presentation, but could you maybe speak a little bit to how you're working with Headwater?
Yes, I didn't mention that yet. So Headwater is going to be launching, they've already started a series of IQF vegetables. We're working together on Long Island and the Hudson Valley. And again, I am waiting for them to finalize some stuff. I don't know when it will be ready. I don't know if it's in September. We're working with that. If they're here, please speak to it. But again, we will be getting the product directly either from their processor or from their designated warehouse and bringing it to Hudson Valley and Long Island. I believe many of you in Western New York, Southern Tier, will be able to go right to Headwater for it. So no toes stepped on. Well, J&L Ice is Joe, and we just talked because Al from ECS, the old ECS, is with Joe, and yeah, we can work with Joe. We are talking about it, and also Latina is still open to us. So we've got 2. Definitely, yes, J&L.
And Julie, are you still working with produce peddlers at all in Western New York?
I am.
Okay.
I am. And you know, they do have a model for like contract. Not sure though that the model is going to make it as affordable as if I just stick with like a J&L or a Latina and pay my fee for service, because they do have a markup.
All right, well, if there aren't any other questions for Julia right now, and of course you can feel free to contact her Oh, there we go. Another question. Thank you. Are you working with DeGaley or
Yes,
Cisco Albany?
I am. So for instance, Ulster's bid came out yesterday, twice. Came out, got rescinded, came out. And immediately I confirmed with Dagley, with Bev, would she be able to supply all these schools? And I won't bid until I'm sure. And so you're covered. Yes to Dagley and or Albany Cisco. It would depend on your choice.
This might also be, look for the Dutchess County bid again.
Thank you, I will.
So clearly, some folks are getting your products through the bids. That is something that we, as farm to school coordinators, can help with. If you don't know how to get that into your bid or anything like that, any of these products that are on here, if you need assistance with that, we're happy to help with including some of these products in your bids.
What is WFL? Would they be working with Renzi or another warehouse that you know of? Or Palmer, working with Palmer, because I store there anyway. So we're in conversations with Palmer doing food for service. Which one would you work with? And you can come off mute, right? If you want to. Renzi, we're in, it's fine. Yeah.
As long as you've included that in your bid, the ask for those products, right? So is it in the bid?
What do you mean?
The Wayne Finger Lakes BOCES bid, was it written in there?
I haven't seen that bid yet, but that's what I would put in the bid. How I would get it, that I make that commitment when I bid.
Okay, so we are currently working on the Wayne Finger Lakes bid. We're trying to put together a grocery bid for the first time ever, really. So I was wondering if this is an option for us and to try to include into our grocery bid.
Will you be specifying New York product?
Perhaps I'd have to get together with my compatriots and see how we want to work this out.
Okay. Because Becky, if it's processed, like my meatballs or my hot dogs, that can go into a conventional bid, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, if somebody from who's going to be part of writing that Wayne Finger Lakes bid, one of you guys wants to reach out to, feel free to reach out to me or to Cheryl about, we have access to some of these other bids, so we can show you exactly what the language was, how they included it in those bids, and you can get it in there. And again, same thing for, you're probably going to hear from a few different types of products today. So if you're interested in getting them into the bids, please let us know and we can help you with that language, especially, for any first timers.
I will add that both Dutchess and Ulster's bids used really good language. It was very clear, and it was easy to know exactly what they were asking for too. So maybe you can share that with Becky.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, so it looks like we're right up on our time to move to our next vendor. We are going to hear from Scott McMillan with Smith Packing.
Hi there. Can everybody hear me?
Yes,
okay,
we
great.
can.
Okay, thanks for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity here. I did have a display of product here, but unfortunately, virtually, I don't know if anybody can see it with the camera and everything. But just as I just heard the last part of your last meeting there, so I just want to kind of touch base on what we do. If you're not familiar with us, there are some schools that are working with us currently, but we are a manufacturer and a distributor in our marketplace. But we basically can find product all over the state on New York State franks, New York State ground beef, New York beef patties, a slew of different deli meats as well. It could be also bologna and salami that they're made. There is some breakfast items that we do, and we do a breakfast sausage and a beef smoked sausage as well. So currently, we're working with several schools now, and then we've also presented at both, I think, Saratoga Springs Springs, and I was also at Long Island late last year. So some of you may have met me down there. We had a number of different things that we were talking about at the time. I know distribution is a big piece of this discussion. We have certain distribution partners, and we've also talked to several different partners throughout the state. So I would work with anybody that you want to work with. All I have to do is just put me in contact with them. We have several that we already are working with. We're distributing some of the Capital Region BOCES through U.S. Food Service in Albany. We do have other houses that we service, like Cisco, Syracuse, a number of independents throughout the state as well that we can kind of work with. So please keep that in mind when you're looking at our products. Downstate, I have several different options, but I also have relationships with some people that we've worked with, even in my past career, that I think that came up to me at the show, that if the opportunity arose, we could absolutely do some business there. So what I'd like to do is just like kind of touch on a couple of the highlights of what our products and what makes us a little different, I guess. Sodium level on our Franks, for instance, I know we're at 310 milligrams, and I know that's was a big talking point before COVID. Currently, I think it might start coming back now that things maybe are starting to get a little bit back to normal. And same with our deli meats. It's in the same category, pre-sliced products that you can use every day. So I'd like you to kind of keep that in mind. We do different types of patty sizes. Currently, we're doing a 4 ounce. We're open to doing a smaller ounce for the portion, basically for the cost and also the nutritionals. And I've had several different school districts ask me about that. And that's, of course, a possibility as well. So what I would like to do is, maybe I could open it up. We have several different, like I said, places that have been using our product. We're very happy with it. And I'd love to be able to answer any questions you might have. So I'm just reading some of the different questions coming across. Is there a document that I could share? I did provide one earlier. There's kind of like one piece of a PowerPoint that just had the key items. I will absolutely share it after the meeting with those core items. And we have codes, and we actually have inventory set up. I'm actually sitting on inventory right now as we speak. So one of the other things I would love to do, if somebody wanted to do a New York Thursday or any other day, I would love to I'd love to reach out and possibly put together even like a sampling order or some sort of thing that we could do, so you have a chance to kind of preview it to the students. And I've been doing that here in the last couple of months, and that's been pretty successful, specifically on items maybe that you wouldn't normally bid, or they're not like a core item, like specifically the bologna and the salami, that could be an everyday item or could be a fill-in item as well. So I definitely have that information that I can provide as well. So what I'd like to do is, like I said, kind of touch bases or anything specific that I can get into that maybe you questions around the state. My goal is to try to reach out to everybody and try to see where there'd be an opportunity for us, even on an item or two. It doesn't have to be everything. We can definitely work and be a friendly supplier to the distributor community as well, and make these things happen. So I was just curious, maybe open it up for some questions and maybe answer those as they come along.
Scott, it would be great if you could, I know you really quickly run through the products that you offer. Yeah. Maybe you could kind of go through each one and say, what you have.
Let me do that. I apologize. I thought I wanted to rattle through the list there. Beef Franks, New York State beef Franks, 2 ounce, obviously meet the spec that everybody would be looking for, kind of a staple item. Ground beef, I do different sizes of just regular ground beef, and then I also do the patties. So currently I'm selling both depending on different school districts' needs. Some places they just need the ground beef to do different things with. I do a raw product. I do not do a fully cooked product currently. It's something that could be done in the future, but I do have the raw product that definitely qualifies for the New York program. Deli meats, I do a New York State beef bologna, and I do a New York State beef salami. It's already pre-sliced, 1/2 ounce slices. So, for 2 ounce portions, you're looking at 4 pieces. It can meet the criteria that anybody could use. It's a great backup item to have in the building, just even if just to try to make some, alternative meal options there for some people as well. Like I said, I have some other items that I didn't display here, but I do have Breakfast sausage, I think I have 1 and 2 ounce links that I can do that I have done in the past that would be made of beef. And then I have like a poultry version of that, but the beef would be for New York State that we're talking about. And then lastly, I do a smoked sausage that actually falls into the category. It's a little bit bigger, but I can do it in the 2 ounce portion, or I can do it in a 3 ounce portion as well, 3.2 ounce portion. So those are my core items. I also, not that this would pertain to this, but I'm also halal certified. So if the school districts that have a need for halal products, I basically do all these products in a halal version that would not be New York State, but at least it would qualify as halal. And I think there's some need for that too. So I would love to work with the distribution community on that. And maybe in some cases, they might only need 20 boxes of this, or I can fill that need along with the other products that I do have.
We did have a question in the chat about where are you located out of and who carries your meats? If you just want to reiterate that little bit about your distributors and stuff.
We are based in Utica, New York. We are a production facility. Okay, so we actually manufacture these products. We've been there since I think 1911. So we currently are working with, we have a few distributors in New York City. We also distribute ourselves in a pocket of an area, basically from Syracuse to Albany. We do work with Capital Region BOCES. We do go through U.S. Food Service up there. We have made contact further south and west, but currently that's who we're shipping through currently as far as school business goes. Now we have other relationships throughout our other business that we could tap into this if need be. And that's kind of where we are. But we have the ability to get from basically one side of the state to the other. And we currently do different pieces of business all over in our different segments. And this would just be kind of go along with that. Are there any, I'm just checking to see, are there any other questions that I could kind of maybe illuminate on some of the products here? I mean, I would like to, I mean, currently, like right now, if there's a few schools out there, I've been doing these here for the last month or so, now that maybe some of the restrictions are lightening up. If I've done some samplings, where I've gone to different schools and I've actually sampled some of these products, different days that they're looking to do, just to see what the demand would be. We pretty much put a collection of items together and we get some feedback from the students and also some of the faculty and get some buy-in from everyone. I'm just reading some of the questions here. Do I have an MMA statement available, the nutrition for all the products that can be sent? Manufacturer, what's the acronym stand for? I'm sorry. I have spec sheets. I would assume that's what they're looking for. Basically what qualifies it as a New York item. Meat alter. I'll have to read into that. I do have like all the statements that would say like the ounces and everything that would qualify in terms of having an actual CN label on it. I don't believe I have that, but I mean, I have everything that's the criteria that would qualify basically nationwide as far as the ounces and everything that's kind of grandfathered in on that. I could get that. I'm sure that's not an issue. So I'm just reading through a few other questions here. And the ground beef is 100% raw. So if somebody is looking for something fully cooked, that I don't do. And I'm sorry, there's a question about the bologna, and it's 100% beef. I guess if that was maybe the question that was asked earlier. And I'm just reading through there. They're all popping up pretty quick here. I'm trying to.
Yeah, so there's a lot of chat about schools have to provide kind of proof that it meets the meat or the meat alternative in terms of ounces, so the 1 or the 2 ounce.
Sure.
So we can connect with you over that to make sure that we have that all in line. And like you said, there are a number of districts that are already buying from you. So I think that you probably already have what you need.
We do. I mean, I'm just like, maybe I didn't spell it out that way, but of course,
yeah,
I could qualify everything that we have there. And I definitely had the product formulation statements and everything, which I just saw pop up, which of course would qualify basically everything that I'm talking about. Like I said, I have nutritionals on all my, I do have an entire collection of spec sheets that have this spelled out with the nutritionals on them as well, which I could provide the group, when this is all over.
Yes, if we could, and I mean, the same goes for all of the vendors on this call, if we could share out any spec sheets that you have like that. I know that often it seems like you maybe want to show like something glossy, but those nutritionals are really important to the schools as well. So we would love to be able to share them.
And I have, and absolutely, I have all those. They've been vetted. They're ready to go. And like, I know that sodium level is a big question that comes up, and like, clearly, and anything like basically things that fall into that category. And I know we're trying to also make a portion cost, even with the reimbursement, it still helps to keep the products. We want to make sure the sizing is just what everybody wants, and that, I think we provided that. So, and I'm just, are there any more questions? Anything else that I could answer? And basically, in terms of follow-up, what would be the best way for me to kind of make sure that I give everybody what they're looking for?
Well, if you would be able to or willing to drop your contact information in the chat, that's a great way to be able to do that. And we will also send out contact information for each of our vendors when we share the recording of the presentation. Okay. Yeah.
Sounds great.
I'll give another moment for you to talk and for any questions. I don't even think our next vendor is on quite yet. So
okay, I didn't want to cut anybody's time. That's why I was trying to be respectful. So no, not a problem. Like I said, the one thing I heard, there was a discussion about the bids that came up earlier, and I'm seeing right there the raw beef is 100% New York beef. So, and that says it's clearly in my spec sheet. It's the first call out on the actual spec sheet itself. So what I would like to do though, as far as I know I've already, I basically have been discussed specifically downstate. They were putting some bids together. I would just like be the person I could see visibility maybe on those bids as they're coming out. I'm not sure, like currently right now we're kind of between bids with certain, because the program was getting off the ground. But anybody that wants, I'd love to kind of discuss how I can have visibility to that, so I can make sure that everything is what everybody needs on our side as well. And just follow up, I think it's just some of my contact information just went up on the screen, so I do appreciate that. And as far as bids that have already been released, like, has anything come across, like, from some of the things that we've done a few months? I know we were in a discussion about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I know there was one that they were looking to get out before, like right around, I guess, tomorrow or Friday. So we're in that time period, I guess, where it's all coming, everybody's putting everything together. So if I'm needed to put something together specifically for the bid, please let me know. I'll provide that nutritional information.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. I really appreciate being asked to be part of this too. And like I said, I wish we could actually meet in a room and actually, taste the products. So this is, but hopefully soon.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah. So is there anything else I could answer for you guys? I don't want to hold up anybody else. So. We look pretty good. I guess we're close. So.
Yeah, no, you did great on time. If there's anything you want to add, please feel free. Our next presenter, Empire State Farms, does not look like they're on quite yet. So if Bill, you would like to present for Cool Tropics, or if there's somebody else from Empire State Farms on here that I am missing right now, please speak up. Does not seem like it. Bill, would you like to talk?
I'm glad to jump in here, Becky.
Okay.
Great to see everybody. I'm glad to
Thank you.
jump
And
in.
thank you so much, Scott.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yes.
Becky, can you enable screen share for me, please?
Yep, Christy, could you do that, please?
It should be good now. Does it work?
Let me try that.
Looks like you're co-host now, Bill, so go ahead. Perfect.
How we doing? How's that look?
Looks good.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Becky, for having us today from Cool Tropics. We really appreciate it. The first thing I wanted to say is thank you to New York State. You did something very special for us as a business. You led us to this notion that farm to school can be really successful. A few years ago, I guess it was 4 years ago, we looked at our line and we noticed that we had a few products that actually would work, the New York Farm to School. And it took us in a direction where we've actually built farm to school programs in other parts of the country. It all started with New York. New York seems to be leading the way in farm to school initiatives. You have the most evolved program that we've seen. And a big thank you to everybody on the call for helping support Cool Tropics in this farm to school venture and for all that you do in leading the country. Really, really appreciate it. There's two products that we're going to talk about today specifically. One is the Welch's Concord Grape Apple 100% juice, and the other is the Welch's 100% juice slush. These products are slightly different because one of them is a slush product where they both come shelf stable, but one of them, the slush, needs to be frozen before you use it, and the juice product obviously just needs to be chilled. So in the handling of them, they'll be slightly different. They're both individually wrapped. Neither one requires a utensil, which is great news. These are both 100% fruit. They count as one serving fruit, and they're fully backed by our free marketing campaign. So that's all good news. Before we talk a little bit more about the specifics of the farm to school products, just for those of you that don't know Cool Tropics, we're based in Bedford, Massachusetts. The core line of our program is our 100% Cool Tropics fruit slush. Our newest member to this family is our raspberry passion fruit. We're very excited about that. And the base ingredient of our 100% fruit slush is apple and pear concentrate. And that's important because our products are differentiated by the base concentrate that we use. So it's significant to know that our core line here is a fruit slush that has as a base ingredient apple and pear, and that will matter when we talk about the Concord Grape product. A big surprise happened to us in 2020. We introduced a vegetable juice slush. And the first one that we came to market with was the Tropical Trio. And that was very exciting because we didn't expect it to get as popular as it did, as fast as it did. And in 2020, it became one of our biggest movers. It's a bestseller to this day. It took off so well that we came up with a second product, Berry Berry Blue, and now our vegetable juice slush is available in 2 flavors. So we're very excited about that. And to build on that, about 6 years ago, we started a relationship with Welch's, and we were licensed to produce Welch's 100% juice slush by Cool Tropics. So in essence, we're co-branding with them. And it's really important when you're talking about the Welch's brand. Is this just about the brand? Is it just about the license? No, it's a completely different product. The base ingredient of the Welch's program is 100% grape concentrate, different mouthfeel, different flavor profile, different in so many ways. So it's very significant as opposed to the Cool Tropics apple and pear concentrate base. The Welch's is a 100% grape juice base, and it has an entirely different taste profile. When you look at that second pouch from the left, the Concord Grape, that's actually an interesting product because that is grown, processed in New York State. There are a lot of Concord Grape farms. There are a lot of Welch's farmers in New York and upstate New York. And we found that in this particular product, this is where the Concord grapes come from. They come from New York. And we take those Concord grapes and we take that concentrate and we create our 100% Concord grape juice slush out of it. We create our 100% juice cup out of it. We do add some apple juice into the Concord grape juice just to kind of give it a little bit of a different taste profile. But they're both really significant because you can use these year round. And we know that there's times in your farm to school initiative where it's seasonal and the crops are available certain times of the year. It's hard to sometimes keep up with that threshold that you're all seeking. And what's great about these products is because they're shelf stable, they can actually go in the storeroom, ready when you want them, not taking up any space in your freezer, bring them out whenever you're ready. And in the case of the juice cup, you could just put it in the fridge, chill it overnight, and it's ready to go the next day. In the case of the juice slush, it takes 3 or 4 days if it's in the case. But the wonderful part of that is you can actually take it out, put it on sheet pans, slide it into the freezer, and be ready to go the very next morning. So these from a last minute change in your menu, from a when do I want to offer it on short notice, these are very versatile products and they'll be in your storeroom whenever you're ready for them. When we talk about the farmers themselves in New York, it's really interesting because they tend to be for Welch's product. There's a lot of benefits that come with the Concord grape. And besides the ones that you see on the screen, what's driving all of these benefits of the Concord grape is that the skins and the seeds are crushed in the pressing of the grapes. And that actually captures some of the polyphenols. And in a 4-ounce portion of Cool Tropics, there are 125 polyphenols, milligrams of polyphenols. And that's where all these benefits are coming from. There are 20 grapes in every one of our 4-ounce juice slush or 4-ounce juice cup. So that's quite a bit there. What can we do with these products, with this juice cup and this juice slush? So it's very versatile. You can actually use them for all of our meal service for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But beyond that, if you have a satellite location, if you have a meal service that you're doing out somewhere besides the cafeteria or besides the classroom, they're highly portable, highly versatile, and easy. An example would be field trips or early dismissals or any type of a bag lunch. It can actually serve as have a refrigerating property by putting that frozen slush into the bag and then take it out for the meal at the early dismissal, whatever, and send it home. It's very versatile that way. The second idea is for summer feeding. We have summer feeding coming up soon. And what's interesting about the juice slush is you can take any type of cooler, small cooler, big cooler, you pack it with 100% juice slush, take it out to your satellite location. It'll actually last for an entire day. So it could be packed in the morning, served in the evening. You just open up the cooler and they will be totally rock hard. They can be passed out. And within about 20 minutes, they would be in that slushy consistency that the students could enjoy it. So summer feeding is great. It's very versatile for that. And also all forms of any type of at-home use, if there's any reason or time that we did that a lot. And over the past year and a half, we're sending meals home. It's a great way to, it's a great treat for the kids. We get probably 10 solicitations per week of people writing to us saying, where can I buy it? Where can I buy it? How do I get this? My kid goes crazy for this. He won't stop asking me about it. Where can I buy it? And I get those emails. And it's just really gratifying to see how much excitement these products generate in the students. They go home and they talk it up. All of our products are backed by our marketing program. And by a marketing program, we really mean 3 components. The first is our flyers. Our flyer is that we have 60 different celebrations in the course of the year, spread out, sometimes 5, 6 in a month. And you can pick whatever one of these celebrations you want to feature the juice cup or to feature the slush and say, okay, you put it up a flyer a couple days beforehand and let the kids know that on Thursday, for example, we're going to be serving juice slush. If you do that, what ends up happening is they get very, very excited. They tend to leave their brown bags at home. And even when you're serving a less popular entree, you get a nice little bump in participation. The something about the festiveness of the juice slush and the cup that in the different of it and the Concord grape flavor that really gets the kids very excited. So that's a real driver when it comes to menu participation. We have stickers, which you see there off to the right, and those stickers are used in conjunction with events like, say, National School Breakfast Week. And what we do during National School Breakfast Week is if you take breakfast, you get a sticker. And then you take that sticker and you go to lunch, and when you present the sticker, you get a pouch, a Welch's Concord Grape Juice Slush. You might serve the juice cup for breakfast, get all that traffic into the breakfast classroom, and then they get their sticker and they bring the sticker and enjoy a slush at lunch. It makes for a very exciting day, and we've had tremendous success with it. We offer the posters, we print them for you, we can give them to you digitally. We offer the stickers. We completely and totally support all of our programs with our marketing. And the reason we do that is we want to get the staff excited. And getting the staff excited is a real core part of the program. We provide leis, and we have these flower hair clips that we offer, and we get the staff really excited about offering and serving the product. And the reason this is so significant, by the way, I think this is actually a New York school that was doing Halloween a couple of years ago. And they got caught up in the spirit and they dressed up in costumes and they put on their leis and they were really having a great time with this. But the point of all of this is that we like to get the staff engaged. Everybody's feeling the pinch of staffing, and everybody's feeling the difficulty of keeping spirits high. We understand that, we sympathize. These products are fun for the kids. It's very contagious for the servers. They get caught up in it. And best of all, it's really simple for them. The handling of it, the serving of it is nothing, it's very, very simple. So all of those things combined make it very exciting for the staff. We have weekly theme flyers that we use. And the weekly theme flyers, if you want to put the juice cup or the juice slush on the menu, we have actually 5 different celebrations. The first is Tropical Tuesday. That's a fun one. We can change the pouch work, the artwork on any of these posters. We can put in the cup. We can do anything you want. We have Way Cool Wednesday. We have Frozen Fruit Friday. An example here might be to put New York Thursday on this. We can make a poster with New York Thursday. We can substitute the hula cooler for the Concord grape. All of our marketing is completely editable. You can have a lot of fun with it. In addition to all of this, we can also add your logo. And one of the things that we know many of your districts are interested in your branding and getting your word out there and getting the parents engaged and getting a lot of excitement out there from the administration and everything. What we can do is put your logo on our flyer, and we can customize the pouches on the flyer to match whatever it is you're serving. If you're interested in the vegetable juice slush, we can certainly help you with that. If you're interested in any of the other Welch's flavors, we can help you with that. An example on the hula cooler actually came out of a promotion that we ran in the state of Hawaii. And all of the kids in Hawaii sent in their recommendations for what to name this new product. It's a passion fruit orange guava, like a pog. And they all wrote, and we probably got about 300 entries. And out of those 300 entries, one of them was hula cooler. And we ended up going with it. And we flew out there and had a big ceremony and gave the winner a laptop and a big ceremony and had a lot of fun with it. So that's what we do at Cool Tropics. We love to engage. We love to have fun. And we love to support you. Another way that we can support your district is with a menu planning calendar. And this may be the one thing that we have the most fun with of all. And the menu planning calendar is not just about Cool Tropics. We have all of our celebrations listed on the calendar. But beyond that, we have all of the national food days of the whole year. So you'll find National Almond Day, National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day, National Mac and Cheese Day. They're all there. And what we do with these is we'll hang one of these in every single one of the kitchens, and they'll be able to say, okay, this week we're gonna use National Avocado Day, and we're gonna incorporate avocados in our menu planning. So it's a great tool to have in every one of your kitchens. If you're doing business with Cool Tropics, we give you some of these menu calendars. We have the 2022-2023 calendar coming out in, I believe it's late June. We don't have any more for this year, but we'll be sending out the new calendars, and we're very excited to share those with you. When we talk about the product itself, it is staff friendly. And the call outs on staff friendly is, number one, we talked about shelf stable. This product is in the storeroom. It is ready for you when you're ready for it. It doesn't take up space in your freezer. It can be frozen down overnight on sheet pans. It's very versatile. It's great for any kind of food emergency. It's there when you need it, but it's not taking up space in your freezer. The easy handling is something that the staff immediately loves working with this, because they see the kids get excited about this Concord Grape product. It's got a very unique taste. I'm sure we all know what Welch's Concord Grape juice tastes like. It's got a great history, super trusted brand, makes the parents immediately relaxed, makes the parents immediately comfortable with the brand that you're serving. And something that's very unique about this product is that it can freeze and refreeze. So where the slush is concerned, if you brought it out, take it out of the freezer, you put it in the serving pans. At the end of the meal, you have 15 portions left over. Unlike some of our competitors, you can take those, put them back in the freezer. You can put them back in the storeroom. You can do anything you want with them. They can freeze and refreeze back and forth with no loss of optimum flavor. So when you put those three things together, the fact that it's a shelf-stable product, it's in the storeroom, the staff gets very excited, the kids get very excited, we help you market the product to get everybody excited. And then there's no waste. On two levels, there's no waste. One is you can freeze or refreeze, you can send it back to the storeroom. But the second way that there's no waste is that in that cafeteria, on a day when you serve Welch's 100% juice slush or Welch's juice cup, they all get consumed. There's nothing going into the trash. And we know from experience, we watch sometimes and see some of the things that get thrown away, and we know that it's really important that the kids get their calories in their food. So it's really exciting to have a product that helps that. A question on pricing. We have on the Concord Grape apple juice, these are approximate. They're obviously, you'll need to check with your local distributor to get the exact price. It's 28 cents approximately for the juice cup. It's 45 cents on the juice slush, on the Concord Grape juice slush. And those prices are good through June 30th of this year. We expect to have a new price card printed sometime in June, if not sooner. We also do release bid pricing now if it's something that you want to put onto a bid, or that is an opportunity that you need pricing for the new year. We certainly can do that. One of the questions we get asked is, okay, where can I buy it? And right now what we have is, we have US Foods, Buffalo, Renzi, Palmer, all stocking the Concord Grape apple juice cup right now. What's interesting about that list is that Renzi and Palmer Food were not selling this product at the beginning of last fall. They just started in with the program, and looking at their numbers, it's phenomenal what they've been able to do with it. There are people on this call that are supporting it We really, really appreciate the support you've given the program. You have made it a success at Renzi. You've made it a success at Palmer and Buffalo, of course. We really appreciate the support you've given to the program. So where do you go from here? If we want to, we're represented by Waypoint in New York. And Jim Lafort from Waypoint actually services the upstate part. So I'm going to ask that you take a screenshot of this. I can certainly circulate this separately after the fact. Or if you want to be contacted, you can just leave a note in the chat section. I will actually follow up after this presentation, go through, if you just leave your email or your phone number and say, I would like to please be contacted on these products, we'll do it. One more follow-up on where you can buy it and distribution. We are slotted at Cisco with all SUPCs. We do probably 30 Cisco houses nationally. It is a very simple thing. If either Albany or Syracuse, you want to be serviced by those locations, it's a very simple thing for us to say, here's the volume, here's what to expect, and let's do some business here. And they all the time, it seems like they're willing to bring it in. When you're setting the stage for summer feeding, it's good to keep in mind that in the month of May, we have some really fun celebrations coming. We have School Lunch Hero Day in early May. We have Cinco de Mayo, May the 4th be with you. That's the front half of the month. Then in the second part of the month, we have National Juice Slush Day. And National Juice Slush Day is going to be available on the 3rd Wednesday of May. And what's so significant about that is if you bring these products in and you serve them for one of those events, what it does is it sets up the summer feeding program so that when it becomes available in summer feeding, you get that bounce, you get all that excitement. And it makes it more likely that we can have it in distribution for you, ready to go for the fall. So one last look at these contacts on who you can contact to get more information or find out more about these products. And I am also glad to answer any questions. We have found that if we can make the case that a certain district is interested in these products, we have had great success with having any of your major distributors bring them in. And Stephanie in particular is working with the Long Island bid to have it ready to go. So we're very excited about that. We have a trademarked slogan, let your cool rule. So I think it's time we can take a few questions, and anything we can do to help you let your cool rule, we sure appreciate it. Becky, I have not been tracking the chat during this short presentation. Is there anything that jumped out that I can help with that that you can share with me?
Let me take a peek at this. I think you might have addressed this, but you could again, just the fruit and vegetable juice qualify as a fruit or vegetable serving or both.
The one line qualifies as one serving of fruit. That would be the Welch's and the Cool Tropics fruit slush. The vegetable slush, the one that has the sweet potato concentrate base, qualifies as one serving additional vegetable. That question gets asked a lot. Thank you for that.
Okay.
And the other part of that question is that people will often say, what makes it a vegetable slush? Because it doesn't seem to say it on the pouch. That's actually by design. The kids don't even know they're having a serving of vegetable. And we use natural flavors with the sweet potato concentrate to enhance it. It really has a wonderful taste profile. If anybody is interested in any samples, wants to test the product, just shoot me an email or give me a call and I'll make sure that we send samples right out to you.
Thank you. Another question was, what is the shelf life?
Shelf life is 12 months. We say 9 months, but it's actually a 12-month shelf life from manufacture. And no, it's absolutely optimum flavor.
Are you downstairs?
Okay. Do we have any other questions? I know these have been a very popular product. My kids love them. It's always at those fun events with the, the slushes and stuff.
Thank you for the feedback. We love to serve them for special events. That's really exciting. Becky, I want to be considerate of time. I think I must have used up most of my time?
Well, two of our vendors are not here. Empire State Farms, who you went in place of, thank you so much. They're still not on. And then Dave Walzak from Eden Valley Growers is not here. So Dennis from Wheatfield Gardens is actually going to talk next if you don't have anything else to add. But if you have anything else to add, we do have a little bit more wiggle room.
Well, I just wanted to add, I wanted to end with where I started. It's this whole farm to school thing, it started in New York. And for us, we're actually doing a very big rollout now in the state of Texas. And it really has to do with what happened in New York. And you have set a template, you've set an example, and believe me, we appreciate it, we notice it, and thank you for your trailblazing. And if there's anything we can do to serve you, we're really happy to do it and excited to do it. And thank you, Becky, for putting the program together, letting us be part of it. We really appreciate the chance to talk about our farm to school products in New York.
Kudos to Cheryl for putting this together.
Thank you to Cheryl. I'm sorry she couldn't be here.
Yes, and she will be here tomorrow. Okay,
Right.
so I guess.
Well, thank you so much. I will sign off and look forward to hearing from everybody. We're glad to serve. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bill. Next, we are going to hear from Wheatfield Gardens. And Dennis, do you need any screen sharing or anything? We can't hear you if you're talking. Dennis, are you?
There you go. There you go.
There
I
you
see
go.
you. Thank you. Okay, I apologize. Yes, I'm going to hit my screen share, and will that host?
We have to
Yes,
just, where are you in here? Sorry, I'm just gonna scroll down to where you are.
Okay.
And I'm going to make you a co-host. Oop, that's the wrong person. Sorry, all the names are jumping around in here. I just have to make you a co-host quickly. Okay, you should be able to do that now.
Okay, let's try this. Well, it won't be as exciting as the movie that Julie put together, but thank you. Okay, we're going to go with that one. Please. Okay, excellent. Are we seeing everything here?
We're seeing your whole screen, so we don't see like presentation mode yet.
There we go. Okay, we'll make it a little bigger here. Okay, I apologize for the PowerPoint, but again, I first like to thank obviously you, Becky, and Cheryl for getting this together. I know we've had conversations in the past to try to help us navigate the landscape here for the farm to school. So I appreciate you giving us the time. It's just a couple of more slides. Some people always ask us, how we're growing. We're located in Niagara Wheatfield, which is a suburb of Buffalo, New York. We're a greenhouse. We have about 12 and a half acres, all under glass. I know these are things that everyone has heard before and have known before. That's why New York State has put this, or Cheryl and Becky have been big on the farm to schools. 10% of all produce, consumed here in New York State has to travel, 13 to 2,000 miles. In order to help eliminate some of those the miles, greenhouses have been popping up all around us, and hopefully through the use of the controlled environment agricultural, we can perhaps reduce some of the energy requirements and the challenges of the supply chain. Obviously things have changed so much over this last 2 years with COVID, but we've noticed, and I'm sure the other vendors here on this program have noticed, the trucking, labor, all those things have been such a pinch point for the farm business, that anything that we can get locally sourced, it certainly helps us out. So again, we're on a 12 and a half acres here in North Tonawanda. The facility was originally constructed, 94. Our current owners purchased it back in 2016. And that's when we started with the hydroponic production using the ponds. And we're also using a proprietary, referred to as the Tropics energy system. We understand that there's our energy concerns and how we light and basically energize the greenhouse here in growing zone 6. So we're doing all we can to reduce our footprint on all bases. So the system that we're using right now, this Tropo system, if you, again, I promise it won't be too long or too into the weeds. We're trying to take care of, the energizing of the system is used by natural gas. As the natural gas is combusted, CO2 is part of that. Water is also part of the byproducts. We have, the system is able to capture the CO2 and obviously capture the water, and it goes right back into the system. So it's a semi-closed system, and that obviously the CO2 is so unique to the plant life. And then it has helped us to cut our lead grow time from 35 to 31 and 32 days, depending on the light. And here's just a little more of a graphic understanding of what the process is. As the natural gas comes in, combust, it goes through our Tropos mixing box and gives us out the perfect humidity and air circulation, captures the water and captures the CO2, able to spin that all back in through the greenhouse. Just a little bit more, that the picture on the right is the actual system that's in our greenhouse right now. Obviously growing indoors, unique circumstances with heating, cooling, humidity, and the CO2, and the Tropos systems, the box on your right there, helps us take care of all that. And I'll skip this next slide. You'll believe me on this. Obviously, we work closely with Cornell. Cornell has helped us with both our lighting needs as well as our growing needs. In fact, we're currently running a specific lighting experiment with them now, and checking in with them on I believe on a weekly basis. There you go, with our Cornell and Cornell in conjunction with RPI with the Glaze Consortium. Just super quickly, and I know maybe you'll have questions or not. These are just a couple of pictures of what goes on in the greenhouse right now. Obviously, you'll notice the different lighting in here, the lights, the reds, the greens, the blues, depending on what is happening sunlight-wise, helps extend the growing season or the growing day for us, and make sure the proper number of lumens are available for full growth. We're only growing whole head lettuce. Okay, we are not growing, or there's no knife in our facility. So you're going to get a whole head lettuce with the roots attached. And during our COVID period, we were able to pivot some of our restaurant type business, and we're able to do some retail business. This happens to be, we're growing basil for some of our retail clients. Here's an example of our butterhead in a clamshell, a 1 and a 2 count. I did try to put our list of items on there. Let me see if I can click that on. Oops, does that show anywhere? I guess not. Okay, well,
We
I'll make
see
that
it,
available.
but it's like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, we could see it. It's just like super small. So you could zoom in a little bit or something if you want to point anything out.
How do I? Well, no, that's just our list of available items today. So again, Becky, I'll certainly make this available to you, and we can pass on to everybody. But what I need to leave you with, we're working with. It's funny that Dave's not here right now. But we're working with distributors of Eden Valley is partners with us. Produce Peddlers through the Eden Valley is working with us. Palmer is working with us. We have Desiderio and Tarantino here locally. Headwater out in Rochester have all been partners with us in all various programs, either through the food banks or through local schools that they handle in their particular areas. What else I wanted to, items that we currently have every single day. Again, butterhead, we have a 3-leaf, we have a green leaf. We specialize in what we refer to as a 3-leaf. Those 3 lettuces all in one. We like to explain that as a more of a that's our mescaline mix. So it's 3 cuts of the lettuce, and there you go with 3 cuts of that head of lettuce, and that equates to 3 specific lettuces. It's a romaine and a green and a red. We're obviously GAP certified. The USDA was literally in our greenhouse yesterday, and we passed all that inspections. We're growing 12 months of the year. We are very conscious of our outdoor season, so we are definitely try to avoid interfering with our local farmers who are in the outdoor season. So we do cut back, but we are available, 12 months of the year. Again, we're currently working with the Buffalo School District through Dave at Eden Valley. So Dave will be better able to explain or in detail how that program works through with his group. But he's with us for the entire school system, or for the entire school year. And during the COVID years, I know we are also participating with him during the summer, obviously for unique circumstances. I think that's all I have. My sort of prepared remarks. I realize that this is a little bit different than what we've heard so far. Shelf life, those kind of things are sort of unique in the produce industry. I can tell you that we will not harvest until we have at least at minimum 12 hours, maximum 12 hours prior to you picking it up. So our shelf life is minimum was 14 days. Obviously, in cooler situations, I have the perfect cooler at the greenhouse. I've had product last 30 days, but that's not helping you at all. So 14 days. Again, the fact that it comes on its root ball, people have asked us, can you add water to the product? Absolutely, you can do that. It won't grow anymore, but it will certainly maintain the shelf life if that's possible. But again, I'm asking you to do something that probably is not feasible on the system, as you're serving the kids. But those are questions that we have. We will custom order if there are schools. I know the whole head lettuce is more important. The butterhead obviously is our best seller for all the schools, but we'll do, if given enough time, if given 30 some days to 40 days, we can grow romaine lettuce for you. We can grow kale. We've done mustard greens. We've done Swiss chard. We will rotate stuff for you if given enough time and the volume's there. I would love to bring out, if anyone is interested, I would love to bring samples and have show the kids how the hydroponics works at school level, if that's of interest to them. I certainly have done that with the Palmer group, and certainly with Headwater on a couple of their presentations to their schools. I think that's all I have. Hopefully I kept that within a couple of minutes. Becky will have all my phone numbers and contacts and situations like that, certainly if you're interested. Hopefully there's a question. If not, I appreciate your time. I hope it at least gets us in the conversation of it's a viable item and it's available. It's one of the local things that we're growing year round, that as part of the farm to school program. So thank you for your time. Thank you, Becky.
Dennis, I have a question. I was just scouring my computer for pictures because I know I have taken pictures before. I think there might be some kind of further down on there. It's just a really cool operation to see. So yeah, thank you.
Yes, and we're certainly, again, anyone who happens to be in the Buffalo area for whatever reason, please give us a call. We love to show the place off. It's a unique operation, and we're very proud of it. Certainly. Thank you. There you go.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay, well, thank you, Dennis, so much for joining. And Dave
Thank you.
is on now, so.
Yeah, boy. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and go next. So again, thank you, Dennis, so much, and
you.
we'll share out whatever information you're able to give us.
Great, thank you.
Our next presenter is going to be Dave Walczak from Eden Valley Growers and the Western New York Food Hub. So Dennis, if you could stop sharing your screen just in case Dave wants to.
Are we good?
We are good.
Excellent. Okay,
Dave,
thank you.
are you ready to go? We cannot hear you if you are talking. There you go.
All good?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit tardy. I guess things are moving along a little quicker than expected, and I jumped in at the last one. I'm sorry about that, but I listened to the
No
end
problem.
of Dennis's presentation, and I would totally reiterate what I heard from him. You know, they're a great partner that we have in the Buffalo School program. They do a nice job. The greenhouse operation itself is very, very impressive, and I do, you know, I support what he said. If you can get out there to see it, it's really something to see. So anyhow, Dave Walczak from Eden Valley Growers and the Western New York Food Hub. I do appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. You know, we are been a co-op since 1956. Group of 20 growers back then, 10 growers now. We're farming about 2,000 acres here in just south of Buffalo and Eden and the surrounding areas. Back in 2016, we were designated the Western New York Food Hub, and with that, we've brought on about another 20 or so growers from the area, up Niagara County, down into the southern tier a little bit, other growers in our immediate area that we also help support. Our facility has 4 specialty coolers, 4 different storage coolers. We operate 365 days out of the year now, with the primary emphasis being in the summer months, obviously, and in the fall months. We do have product to offer to schools and institutions throughout the whole school year. We are a little more limited to what we have in the winter months, obviously, but there is some product that we do offer and that we do, you know, we do take care of the Buffalo schools, and we'll be able to offer to you. We've partnered with a local produce advocate, Produce Peddlers. They do a lot of our last minute delivering and last mile delivering. They are ready and willing to go to any of the schools in the Western New York area, primarily Buffalo, would go to Rochester. There could be opportunity for the southern tier as well. With them, we also have a processor that has been doing our chopping, whether it's wedges, diced, sliced, slawed, really kind of any cut you could think of. We do have a processor that is able to do that. The one thing we do ask for planning purposes, obviously, is to kind of work with a schedule. We've had some of the suburban schools that have been able to basically piggyback off of what Buffalo's been doing. And in conjunction with Produce Peddler too, they've also thrown a few other items here or there, but they do give notice so we can secure the product. And then we work it into the production schedule over at the processor. Besides Produce Peddler, we do have ability to, with our own vehicles, to deliver full pallet quantities. If there were any of your schools have a production kitchen, and if you wanted to perhaps prep ahead or freeze for the winter months, you know, we can bring pallets of tomatoes, peppers, beans, you know, anything you can think of that could be prepped into either, you know, a sauce or flash frozen and put in your coolers or freezers. You know, we do have that ability to bring those to you as well as full pellet quantities. That's kind of us in a nutshell. I know it was a lot shorter than 15 minutes, but questions usually make me think of other things along the way. So if anybody had questions, I invite them at this time.
What do you have available? throughout the year? I know the answer is pretty much anything. So.
Starting when the school year starts, we have pretty much everything on you can think of. We have corn, green peppers, cucumbers, green and yellow squash, eggplant, cabbage. What else am I missing? Hot pepper varieties. And as the season, progresses, we get into the hard squashes, acorn, butternut, spaghetti, Brussels sprouts, potatoes and onions pretty much the whole school year. Fruit side, we have strawberries, I guess, late season school. So there are strawberries in June, July, typically. Concord grapes, seedless grapes, access to soft fruit like nectarines, peaches, pears. So there's quite an array. Our website does kind of lay it all out on a calendar. If you were to go to our website, www.edenvalleygrowers.com, and then you can learn about our growers that work behind us, that actually do all the work. We just get it out to the people. So, yeah. Anything else?
Any questions, anybody? Okay, looks like we don't have many questions. And we are, Katie, thank you for dropping the Eden Valley Growers website there in the chat. We are a bit ahead of schedule, which I'm sure everybody appreciates. Paulette, would you be able to go ahead next from Satur Farms, if I'm saying that correct?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm at the ready. Let me share screen though. That I'm not too sure how to do. So
I will make you a co-host. Hold on.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you see my screen?
We do not. Did you hit share screen? Should be right at the bottom of your screen, kind of, and it's usually green.
Oh, yes. Thank you. And are we good now?
It is just loading up, I think.
Okay.
Usually it comes up before this. Can anybody else see Paulette's screen? Because I can't.
No, I can't either. Paulette, did you choose which window you want to share?
I did, but let me double check. A lot of confusing things going on.
There you go.
That works.
It works? Okay.
Yeah, we see your
Very
screen.
good. Thank you. I do want to thank you for including us in your showcase. We do not do a lot of business right now with schools, institutions, but it's something that we would certainly welcome. We do work with one of the largest school districts on Long Island in Brentwood, and have had a wonderful experience doing so, I think, on both ends. But I am Paulette Satur from Satur Farms. We have been known for growing our specialty greens and supplying them to basically the New York Metro, but a little bit beyond now into the tri-state area. We started our farm 24 years ago on the North Fork of Long Island. And we are field growers. We believe that that's giving us the best flavor and the highest nutrition when plants are grown in soil and sunshine. My husband and I started our farm in 1997. At that time, we were both living and working in New York City. I was selling wine to restaurants, to premium restaurants, and that's how I met my husband. He at that time was chef at Lutece. he too brought a lot of what made our farm successful, being a chef and knowing production. He came to this country while he had been working in Paris at a small Michelin 4-star restaurant, and he came to this country and ended up being chef at that time of Wonders in the World. And without speaking English and having been in this country only for, I don't know, I think less than a month, he created a celebration for the Brooklyn Bridge's 100th anniversary, or was it 500? Oh, I've forgotten. But anyway, he fed 10,000 people one evening, and he was not serving hamburgers and hot dogs. This is a man who does no production. And so he has organized our farm and our operation so that we can provide the freshest and the best that we could possibly can as far as our leafy green vegetables go. We love farming on Long Island. We have a longer growing season than other parts of New York State. Indeed, in January, in the open field, I was harvesting baby spinach in our fields. So it's quite an advantage. Our sandy loam soils and our bright sunshine, we get the warming effects from being surrounded by the waters of the Long Island Sound and the Peconic Bay. And it gives us the flavors and the nutritional value that I think we're all looking for. Our workers are indeed key to our operation. We have many workers who have been here on our crew for 12, 15 years. This is a shot of a spinach field. As I said, we like to say that we partner with nature in sunshine and soil. We don't grow in warehouses with lights. I liken this, since I was in the wine business, I'll ask people, ask a winemaker if he would ever make wines from grapes grown indoors undercover. They would think it's a crazy proposition because they know they aren't getting the flavors and the elements that they need to create a good wine. It's the same with vegetables. So we do grow field grown for flavor and naturally. What do we offer? Well, we've got triple washed, ready to eat, nutritious greens. These are the powerful nutritional workhorses that you're probably looking for. I've listed on the left the items that probably are most of interest. Spring mix, baby spinach, arugula, Asian greens, baby kale, baby romaine leaves, mizuna, tatsoi, kale, stir-fry greens, energy greens. Stir-fry greens and energy greens are a mix of all different kinds of kales and chards and mustards. And more often than not, that's what I'm taking home in the evenings because it's so easy to prepare. Just toss it in a pan, stir fry, put in soup, stews. Sometimes I'll toss it in a pan and throw some scrambled eggs over it and have a wonderful meal with it. They are packed in any size you want. We're vertically integrated. We're growers, processors, packers, shippers. So we can pack in any size that's most convenient for you. 3 pound, 4 pound, 10 pound. We've even done bulk 15 pound for larger processing. And again, it's all washed and ready to use. We do grow some veg that does tend to be more seasonal. Such as gem lettuce romaine heads. We do cauliflower and Romanesco cauliflower, leeks, Brussels sprouts, for example. Again, it's limited in the season, but it does tend to fall into the fall school season. So this is something that we can definitely discuss. But again, our baby leafy greens are the core of what we do. We also do herbs. I think that having a chef or a husband who cooks dinner for me most nights has made me realize the importance of herbs and flavors for food. And people think we're odd. Most nights we'll just sit down to a plate of vegetables because that's what tastes the best. Last night we happened to get some mushrooms from a local grower and tossed them in some shallots and parsley, and it was amazing. We'll sit down to just a plate of cauliflower or a plate of cooked spinach or energy greens. So I think herbs are something that are considered an unneeded accessory, but to us, it's important to show, to demonstrate the flavor that can be garnered from fresh vegetables. My husband also makes dressings in single-serve packets that may or may not be of interest. They are organic. We make them ourselves at the Stony Brook University Incubator Kitchen, which is 1 mile down the road from our own processing facility. There are 4 flavors at the moment. They must be refrigerated because they contain fresh juice, fresh squeezed citrus and grapefruit and whatnot. But the fact that they're single serve and so fresh, I had wanted my husband to release his dressings years ago, but he never wanted to do it. He said, well, you know, people are going to open up a bottle of it and use it once and like it and put it back in the refrigerator, and it'll become oxidized, rancid, and then they'll take it out and use it again. And this is not something I want to show. So instead, we decided to use single serves. That way, every packet is totally fresh. So those are available. On the left, you'll see them in retail shelf pouches, but we can ship them just the single individual packets, bulk in a box. We are New York State grown and certified for our veg, our leafy greens. We are a certified woman-owned business and have all of the food safety certificates and programs in place both in our farm fields and in our facility. We have been concentrating for many years on our retail component and are available in stores in Long Island, the New York metro area. This is a shot from Whole Foods, for example. Our distribution is mostly done by us in these areas, Long Island, tri-state area. We do go into New Jersey, but up into New York, not so far north of the Bronx. We have distributors that we work with. We are with Cisco, Long Island. We'd be happy to expand beyond that. We're with Baldor Food in the Bronx, Ace Indigo up in Brewster, New York. Finger Lakes Farms takes us up into the Syracuse, Rochester area. So we do have production and are interested in expanding our range, and so would welcome further distribution. The deliveries that we make ourselves, we do need to have economy in making the deliveries, and so are asking for full pallet deliveries. Again, it can be assorted. But we do run our own trucks and we do have that capability as well. And all of that could be discussed. And so this is my, our office phone number. And I'd welcome any questions or any interest.
We had a question in the chat. Do you sell to anyone in the Hudson Valley? I think that was for you.
Right now, I'm not able to deliver in the Hudson Valley unless we arrange with a distributor, which I'm totally willing to do. Last summer, I arranged to sell into Tops by using Finger Lakes Farms. There are always ways we can make arrangements. By the way, I also do sell my neighbors' products as well. We started doing this years ago when we first were only shipping to restaurants direct. And so I couldn't just go with a box of our wild arugula. I needed to have other items that they wanted. And so we do work with our neighboring farms, whether it's sweet corn, tomatoes, Long Island potatoes. We can add that to our portfolio for you.
Very good. Do we have any other questions?
Okay, well, thank you very much. Again, you're welcome to call or contact me.
Oh, we did have one more question. Is the dressing made with New York ingredients?
Well, no, unfortunately, because it's olive oil and citrus. So unfortunately, no. It is made here locally by us, but it is not New York State, certified.
Right.
No.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time, Paulette. And if we get any more questions, we will certainly let you know. Next, if you are ready, Anna, we would love to hear from Headwater Food Hub.
Yeah, absolutely. I am here. I'm going to share my screen. All right. So I am sitting in an active warehouse. Feel free to shout out if you can hear something super loud and I need to mute for a minute. But then I'll get started. So my name is Anna Byrne. I am the Farm to School Program Manager at Headwater Food Hub. For those of you who don't know us, we are Headwater. We are a food hub located in Ontario, New York, just outside of the city of Rochester. And what we do is source and aggregate products, produce, dairy, livestock, value add, everything from small and mid-sized family farms and businesses around New York State, and sell to a variety of different channels, whether that be restaurants or institutions like hospitals and universities, as well as obviously schools. So digging in a little bit to Farm to School program, which is why we're all here today. Our Farm to School program, our goal is to support K-12 schools to source, incorporate, and very importantly, document New York State products and to incorporate those into the existing food service program. We've been doing this for a couple of years now. And so I just put some key stats for this past year. We're lucky enough to work with a great number of schools and a great number of producers to have a kind of serious impact of what I like to do. So I think one of the things that is our value proposition for Headwater's Farm to School program, one of the things we can offer is the experience that we have. We've been doing this for a couple of years, as well as the focus. We are one of the few food hubs in New York State that have a full-time farm to school coordinator. That's me. It's my full-time job is to support these schools and kind of meet them where they're at and help grow their farm to school program. So we like to think of ourselves as like a great partner and not just a food hub or food distribution company. So because Headwater sells to a variety of different customer segments, we have a whole massive catalog that isn't always relevant to farm to school. So for today, I'm just going to go through our A movers, which are our most popular farm to school items. And all the items that I'm going to talk about today have actually been menued in our partner schools this year. So these are all tried and tested school favorites. They go across a couple of categories. We have our individually quick frozen fruits and vegetables, our grocery, like think in our staples, our grains, our pantry items, our proteins, variety of different meat products, as well as our fruit and vegetables. Today I'll go through kind of the specs and the different products we carry, but I will refrain from including pricing because that is so variable on the situation, the time of year, the school, the distribution situation. So for full quotes that are specific to your school, feel free to reach out. I'll include my contact information. Okay, so the first item or the first line I'd like to talk about is our IQF vegetable line. We've been really excited. It's taken us a really long time and a lot of precision to do this right. But this year we are excited to actually get this product into schools. There's 5 different items within our IQF line. They're all 30% eligible. They will be New York Garden certified soon. No additives or anything like that. We really think this product is great for schools just starting in their farm to school journey. This is definitely like a first step that we encourage schools who are interested in trying, but are kind of worried about the infrastructure, the added labor, the education, all these pieces. This is a great option for schools, and we've had some really fantastic feedback. So the 5 products we have currently in this line, we have our diced butternut squash, our diced carrots, our whole green beans, super sweet corn, and peas. These products our schools have used in a variety of different ways, and I think they're really versatile. So as simply as just roasting in the oven with a little bit of seasoning, you of course have your different color groups, so it fits in well to a school food menu. Not a whole lot of infrastructure is needed to be able to start incorporating these products. Next, I'm going to talk a bit about our IQF fruit line. Again, similar to the IQF vegetable, these products are available year-round, which is really great, I think, for helping schools to kind of menu. And it is a big ask to get schools comfortable with using products that are seasonal. So this is a way to get New York State fresh fruit and veg into your menus all year round. Currently, we carry IQF blueberries and IQF cherries. Some of our schools like to put these in parfaits or to bake with them, or even putting them in a salad bar. The blueberries come in 1 and 10 pound packs, and the cherries come in 40-pound bulk cases. Next up, we have our grocery. So these are our staple items. And while we have like a really vast catalog, the main farm to school ones I'm going to focus on are Spolini pasta, Gianforte oats, Tennessee Valley beans, and Farmer Ground flour. This is true across all the different products we carry, but I would say especially with our value add and our grocery category, we just absolutely adore the producers we work with. They really align with our values. They're great people, great stories, and we just feel really lucky. I think you'll hear a lot of them talk if you haven't already today. There are a lot of them here representing their own products. So you'll hear more in depth about their products from the organizations themselves. But again, these products are available year round, which is great for menuing and being able to plan ahead, very stable supply. Definitely for some of these products, it requires a little bit more infrastructure. So coming in here, the first one I'll talk about is our Spolini pasta. It's a whole grain pasta. They currently have 2 shapes, fusilli and ziti. And we're really excited to hear that Spolini's coming out with a 3rd shape, which is a small shell. It's whole grain. It comes in 3 by 5 pound bulk cases. We just had like excellent reviews across the board with students and also with kitchen staff. Just easy product to work with, easy sub, easy way to get New York State products into your menu full year. We also have Gianforte oats. Those come in a 40-pound bag. It's a great option for schools who are trying to serve a New York State granola. It is a little bit of prep work that's necessary, but not exorbitant really. Speaking of prep work, we have our beans from Tennessee Valley Bean Company. These come in a variety of sizes. We have a little bit of flexibility. Currently, we're selling in 2 and 5 pound cases. I will note these beans are dry, so it takes a little bit of a learning curve, I would say, for schools to kind of get comfortable using this product because it does take some prep. Not a lot of infrastructure, just need to soak them and cook them before serving, but I definitely think that is something that takes a little bit of getting used to. And then last up here in the value add category, we have our Farmer Ground flour, just a fantastic company out of Trumansburg for our schools that do a lot of in-house baking. Definitely not for every school, but schools that are interested in heading that direction. Farmer Ground flour is a great way to kind of get that happening. and those come in 25-pound bags. The next category I have here is our protein. So Headwater is kind of your one-stop shop. We have pretty much a little bit of everything that a school could need. Our meat program has been in the process of building to what we are now for as long as Headwater's been around, 10 years or more. And besides focusing on just an excellent product for our customer, our meat program also focuses on helping the farmers and ranchers in New York State. So we do dual usage cattle, so that's called dairy cows, and whole animal utilization. And we've just grown these like really deep partnerships with our producers in New York State. And we source beef, pork, and chicken. And because of these partnerships, we have a huge amount of flexibility with what we can get, what we can work with our producers to provide. So all of these products come in ground, diced, retail cuts, sausages of a variety of different sizes. So when we have kind of meaningful volume on these products, we have just a great amount of flexibility. For example, the sausages, we can get tailor the blend and the link size to whatever your specific need is. All of these meat products come in a variety of attribute levels, from New York State, New York Grown and Certified, all the way up to grass finished, AWA certified, responsible antibiotic use. And shortly we'll be offering halal and kosher meat as well, if that suits your demographic. So we're really proud of our meat program, just in the flexibility and the kind of partnership that we've been able to grow with producers in New York State. Kind of a little more into the details, the two products I would say are the most popular are burger patties and our ground beef. Giving you a little spec on those, the burger patties come in 4-ounce patties in a 5-pound bulk case, and the ground comes in 1-pound or 5-pound packs. But again, all these are very flexible. If you have the right volume, we can kind of tailor the product to your needs. And the last product line or segment I'm going to talk about is our produce, our whole fruit and veg, as well as minimally processed. So minimally processed, think shredded, chopped, diced, all of those types of things, which will still be fully qualifiable for New York State 30%. The obvious difficulty with serving whole fruit and veg and minimally processed is just the seasonality of it. I think for some schools, just getting over the fact that you can't have New York State strawberries in December, it's tricky, but there are lots of benefits of using these whole fruit and veg. We pride ourselves on the depth of food chain or supply chain we have here. Because we work with such a large network of farmers, we have a pretty reliable product stream. Because even if one farmer or producer is unable to provide, chances are we'll have someone else. And again, these all come in varying attribute levels, organic, IPM, whatever suits your school's needs. So, of course, I can't put a full list of the produce that we sell to schools, but these are some of our best sellers. I would definitely say the most popular item is our coleslaw mix, which comes in 4 by 5 pound cases, similar to most of our minimally processed products. The coleslaw mix is a pre-made mix of red and green shredded cabbage, as well as carrots. Some schools call it an Asian salad or a rainbow salad, but whatever you call it, it's had great success in a variety of different school settings. Super easy. It's a great first step if you're trying to get into produce, but it's available most of the school year. Very minimal work needs to be done to get this ready to put on a plate. Other products we have are carrots. These you can get diced, baby carrots, shredded, any way you'd like. Other minimally processed products we have are apple slices. For whole produce, we have obviously very seasonally dependent whole range of things, but potatoes have been especially popular this year, again, because they're easy to menu plan. We have varying attributes. We have number 1 quality and number 2 quality, which are great for baking potatoes at a slightly better cost. And hydroponic products available during the year when you wouldn't necessarily have field grown. The last product, obviously apples, a staple to every K through 12 meal. We sell those in 125 count or 175 count bushels. And obviously we can do a combination of both so you can serve your full K through 12. The next question, often I think, as we all know, the most difficult part of farm to school is the 2. So here's just a map of the schools that we are currently serving on our trucks. We do have our own fleet that serves routinely is going into Western New York, in the Finger Lakes, Central New York, Southern Tier, a little bit into the Mohawk Valley, occasionally out to Capital Region. But these are the areas that we're currently serving. That's not to say that we would be, that we are unable to serve schools outside of this area. We have in the past engaged in partnerships and distribution relationships to be able to sell to schools that we aren't able to get to on our own trucks. So even if your school is outside of this range, please feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to put our heads together and come up with some innovative way to get you product. I think that's about it. Leave a couple minutes for questions. My contact information is here. Feel free to reach out to myself or the Director of Community Programs, TC. Our contact information is here. And please think of us when you are putting together your bid list. We'd love to be included on any listservs and expand the network of schools that we get to work with.
Thank you so much, Anna. I think that you just covered the first question that popped up in the chat, which was, where do you distribute throughout the state? And I think Julia talked a little bit earlier about how you are working together. So she's helping distribute some of those products of yours to the areas where your fleet of trucks can't get out to. And then we did have one more question, or, oh no, it was just a comment from Julie Raway. She just said that she switched the cabbage mix over getting whole cabbage and has saved a lot of prep time, especially with schools being short-staffed. And it's a great product that's available pretty much all year round. So do we have any other questions?
I'd be happy to share out my slide deck if that's interesting to people, and also my contact information is on there.
Sure, yeah. And we might, I know that you used to have some really nice product catalogs. I don't know if that's something that might be able to send out a recent one when we send out the information to the schools.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would encourage schools, if you have something specific in mind or you were interested in partnering with us and working with us, to reach out to me directly, because so much of our price list changes seasonally, and it depends what you're interested in and when you would like it and where you are and all those things.
Right, right. Any questions from anybody? All right, well, thank you so much, Anna. And Headwater wraps up our presenters for today. So we are wrapping up way ahead of schedule, which is always nice. And thank you so much for everybody's flexibility, presenters, for moving around a little bit. I really appreciate that. Do any of the participants have any questions for us, for your farm to school coordinators? And we can, connect offline or at a separate time from this with you guys, with the schools, about getting samples of products out to you guys to do some tastings and coordinating that. We're really excited to do that. And don't forget the link to the Hudson Valley food. Oh gosh, what is it called? Well, it is in there. Is in there earlier in the chat. So if you're in the Hudson Valley and you're interested in trying these foods, you can feel free to register for that and attend that. I think that wraps us up for today. Do any of my fellow farm school coordinators have, oh, thank you for dropping it in there again, have anything that you guys would like to add before we wrap it up until tomorrow? All right, it doesn't look like it. So I hope to see many of you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, everyone. It was wonderful.